humans, it's Trish, and in today's video I'm going to be doing my Adventure Challenge book, solo edition. Brought my camera, and today is my day off, and I am running a bunch of errands, but I'm also trying to make an effort to keep up and keep consistent with my self-care, and I made a promise to myself that I would definitely keep doing these challenges and posting them so you guys can come along for the ride. So I am in a public area. It is a little uncomfortable vlogging in front of a bunch of people, but I said I was going to do this, so I'm going to do it. So let's go to the next challenge. The first one I did in the first video, answered all the questions, and now we are on the second challenge, which is technically the first challenge because it's the first time I get to use this bad boy. So this is the second one. I don't know what fire and water reading is, but it's self-care. It says it should take $0 to $15. I can do it in the daytime. It'll take 1 to 2 hours, and I can do it either outdoors or at home or away. So I'm gonna scratch this off. Let's see what it is. Hopefully I can do it while I'm here. If not, then I'm gonna do it right when I'm done. For this challenge, you'll need an air mattress or comfy float, your favorite drink, and a book that's been on your to-read list, audio or physical. If it's warm, head to a natural body of water, such as a lake, river, pond, or calm beach. If none of these are available, a pool works too. Float as you read, enjoying the peaceful surroundings. If it's cold, find a cozy spot by building a small fire outdoors, turning on your fireplace, or visiting a place with public fire pits. Wrap yourself in a blanket, sip your drink, and get lost in the story. Level up, call a friend and ask them to recommend a fun book to read or listen to. Let their suggestion guide your next reading adventure. Okay guys, so as far as this challenge is concerned, I definitely can't do that here. As I said, I am at the dealership waiting for my car to get an oil change, and I thought this would be a good activity to do while I waited, but I don't have a pool here, and I don't have a book besides this one. I think I'm gonna stop at either a liquor store or Publix and get myself a nice little drink. I'm going to look through my books and see which one I've been meaning to read, and then I'm gonna go in the pool on a floaty and read. So I will show you guys me doing that later when I get home and I'm done with all my errands. So I guess I'm just gonna sit here and chill. Okay guys, I am in the pool now. As you saw earlier, I was in the dealership and I obviously didn't have access to a pool in the dealership, so I am completing the adventure challenge in said pool. It called for my favorite drink, which my favorite drink is technically either chocolate milk or a pina colada, but this was free, so we're gonna go with this as my favorite drink. Have a little bit of green to match my floaty, and the book that I am going to be reading is actually a book that my husband gave me, called The Enchanted Island, which I didn't realize at first is actually a collection of 11 different stories of Shakespeare, which is interesting because if you guys didn't know, my husband is Jamaican. He lives in Jamaica, born and raised, and this is a book he said he read as a kid, so it's interesting because it's 11 different Shakespeare stories that are like rewritten to be easier to digest, like more digestible for children to read, and the last one is actually called The Enchanted Island. So it calls for me to sit in a floaty, read a book, take a photo with my favorite drink. So I think I completed the assignment. I already had my mom take a Polaroid of me in the pool doing such, show it right here. I wasn't gonna read all 11 of the stories. It is pretty much my only solid day off this week because I have plans for Sunday. So I am going to read the last story in the book, which is The Enchanted Island. I think it's like 2 parts, and I read the first part already, so I'm gonna finish the second part up, and then I'm going to be done with this challenge in the Adventure Challenge book solo edition. Thoughts as far as this challenge, I actually think it's a really good challenge because it had the 2 options of if you're in a warmer climate, go in the water if you have an option. It said, you know, body of water, get an air mattress, lay on a air mattress in like the water, which I guess I could have done that in the canal, but laying in a floaty in my pool is so much easier. And as far as books, I have tons of books that I'm reading. But my husband did give me this book, and he gave me a few other books he used to read as a kid. So I figured I would, you know, at least read a little bit of, you know, the books that he gave me, so I could kind of get a glimpse into what his childhood in Jamaica was like. And then the drink of choice. Cheers. So that's the Strawberry Smash Truly Unruly. 8% alcohol. Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit. 12 years passed, during which Prospero studied to perfect his magic powers, and Miranda grew into a beautiful lady. All this time, she had never seen any other human face than her father's, though she could vaguely remember 4 or 5 waiting women who had attended her in Milan. One day, there came to Prospero an opportunity to take his revenge on his enemies. By a strange accident of fortune, a ship, which Prospero recognized, with Antonio and Alonso and all their quarters on board, sailed near the island. They were on their way home from the wedding of Alonso's daughter Claribel to the King of Tunis. At once, Prospero called Ariel and commanded him to whip up the winds and raise a violent storm. Soon the whole sea was in turmoil. While sheets of water leapt to the sky, the helpless ship was tossed from wave to wave. As she was on a lee shore, she had no sea room and was in danger of being smashed to pieces on the rocks. Panic-stricken, the king and courtiers rushed on deck and tried to take charge, but they could do nothing to calm the storm and merely infuriated the sailors by getting in their way. When ordered to return to their cabins, they stubbornly refused. "Down with the topmast!" shouted the boatswain, in a brave attempt to keep the ship from going aground. But even with the topmast down, the wind was too severe for her, and she continued to drift ashore. The boatswain tried to bring her around into the wind, but again she failed to respond. "Reef the mainsail and foresails! Lay her off!" he shouted, hoping that if she carried less sail, she would claw off the shore. Okay, I'm gonna go read the rest on my own and enjoy the rest of this challenge, but I hope you guys like this video, and I will be doing challenge 3 next week. I also will be filming a video with my mom on how to make gummies, edibles, obviously. But yeah, stay tuned for more stuff like this. Hey guys, I'm back in my room now after enjoying my little reading session out in the pool, and now I'm gonna do the book part. I actually didn't do this in the last video, so I thought I would add it in this one. This is the camera that I use to take the pictures that I'm gonna put in the book. It is an Instax Mini 7 Plus. This is the book I read, The Enchanted Island, that I got gifted to me from my husband, Aquino. This is the Polaroid, like I showed you earlier, that my mom took. So in the book, it just gives you some space to write down like your thoughts about the experience, and then there's a space for adhesive for you to actually put the picture that you take. Okay guys, so I wrote a little entry just reflecting on my experience today. I really enjoyed this activity, getting to take some much needed self-care time and relax in my pool with a good drink and a great book. I'm really thankful for my husband for giving me this book and reading the story of the Enchanted Island. It really resonated with current issues I've been experiencing with, as far as letting go of trivial issues and focusing on what is actually important in life. And then I dated it, and I put the picture in the book. I put a little description of the activity and the date. And I'm actually really excited to continue with this because some of these challenges, just the little bit that you can see where it tells you like self-care, because you deserve a little TLC, like explore your city. Like, I'm actually starting to get really excited for these things because, like I said, I suffer from social anxiety and I don't really get out a lot. And it's going to be really helpful to be able to start actually going out and doing things and enjoying myself. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay high. Bye.